guys? Welcome to another episode of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, the wrestling podcast where we talk about anything that's going on in WWE and no holds barred on what we say. I'm your host, Kyle Masters, as always, alone in the studio today, so we're just going to jump into a few things here. Topic number one today, guys. WWE has officially banned the curb stomp from Seth Rollins. I guess they're trying to prevent less head injuries with all the head injuries and concussions and such going on in sports right now. WWE is just trying to prevent that from happening to its own brand. They're trying to do, basically they're trying to do the same with as other sports are doing, and trying to find the best way to prevent head injuries. Meaning with WWE, they're gonna have to prevent less. They're gonna have to do some moves that prevent less head injury, like less head-driven moves, such as Seth Rollins' curb stomp. Plus, I think this has to do with the former wrestlers that are trying to sue WWE for their past head injuries in the past. So we have to see about that. I really don't think that's 100% true, but that's just me. I kind of see both sides of this. I mean, on the one hand, the curb stomp isn't bad. I mean, wrestlers are trained now to properly take finishing moves and to properly protect themselves. So why should you ban the move? I mean, it shouldn't be banned, but only used maybe in special situations. I don't know, maybe because remember when Randy Orton had the punt, he only used it a certain amount of times. There was that one period where he was using it for a while, but then he stopped and only used it on special occasions. So maybe if they're trying to get rid of head injury moves like that, maybe just have the curb stomp as a special move for Seth Rollins, as in the Phoenix Splash is apparently his special move, since we never fucking see it anymore. The other side of this, I see what they're trying to do. It's good for the wrestlers to not be taking a bump off the head and preventing future injuries, so their time at WWE lasts longer. I think it's good that WWE is being smarter now with their injuries and not like what's happened in the past, as previous people have said and have proven. I think that the new finisher that Seth Rollins debuted on Raw last week was fucking terrible. That was horrible. I don't even know what to even call that. They just need to get rid of it, make him use this Phoenix Splash. If you're not going to have him use the curb stomp, you make him use a Phoenix Splash. I mean, he can perform it cleanly and everyone can be trained to take it, so why not? The crowd loves it, so I don't see why not you can't use a Phoenix Splash, which I'm still hoping we see at Extreme Rules off the cage, which I'll get to later on. But yeah, get rid of that new finisher. I don't even know what it was. A spinning DDT. I don't even know. So Seth Rollins has so much talent. I think that they could find another finisher for him. Whether or not it's not going to be the Phoenix Splash. I mean, you can find something now that he can probably do it. His kid's got so much talent that you can give him any finisher and he can make it look good, basically. We'll see how long this stays into effect. WWE does have a history of doing something and then later on just completely forgetting about it, and then later on reintroducing it. So my guess is that we haven't seen the last curb stomp yet. So that's my opinion on that. You know what? I think maybe if they're serious about it right now, they're gonna keep him off that curb stomp and make him a new finisher. But if later on in the years that the Shield decide to get back together for some weird reason, I think we might see another curb stomp. That's just my opinion. I mean, it's pretty much out there, but still, that would be good for you guys for cracking down some head injuries. I mean, there's a lot of head injuries going on out there in sports, so yeah, good for you. Moving on to another topic here, guys, is I want to talk about this John Cena Open Challenge. I love it. I mean, I hated it at first because, you guys know me. I'm a huge John Cena hater / lover. I'm a tweener towards this guy, but I love this Open Challenge. I love seeing the U.S. title defended every single week. It's way better than we're used to seeing it defended once every 4 months, which is terrible. It's like the U.S. title should just mainly be on Brock Lesnar because that's the only time he fucking shows up. I think John Cena is the perfect champion to do it, too. He brings more prestige to the title, as I've gone on before. And you guys should all agree with me. John Cena is a perfect U.S. champion. They're starting to slack, though, on the competitors lately. i.e. Kane last Monday Night Raw. Why was Kane in a match with John Cena? I mean, you started off strong. Now you're just going shit with these competitors. You got to find some better people. I know it's hard with his little feud with Rusev right now. Hopefully that's ending at Extreme Rules. I hope it's done after that. If there's anyone I'm hoping that to answer this challenge, I want to say Finn Balor if he's ever going to come in, because now that we know that Bray Wyatt's cryptic tweets and promos are not towards Finn Balor or towards Ryback for some weird reason, but I'll get into that later. I think Finn Balor will probably be a good feud for John Cena. Whether or not he keeps the open challenge while feuding with Finn Balor, while that's going on, we'll see. But WWE missed a huge opportunity. I don't know if you guys heard a couple months ago, Kurt Angle was unsure where he was ready to sign. I'm pretty sure I did a podcast on it. WWE should have signed him then, and that would have been an amazing open challenge. John Cena like coming out and saying, if you want some, come get some. And Kurt Angle's music hitting, holy crap, the amount of the pop that he would get coming back to the WWE would be insane. And then I think Kurt Angle should win the title if he answered the challenge, and then feud from there with John Cena. That would be an epic feud. I mean, you could lead it all the way up to SummerSlam and build all that feud up until then, and it'd be an epic SummerSlam match. I mean, they're trying to make SummerSlam really huge this year with the travel packages, so why not? But yeah, WWE did miss an opportunity on that. Unfortunately, he signed with TNA with the garbage brand that's slowly sinking down, so whatever. Hoping he but I really do hope he finishes that feud at Extreme Rules with Rusev, because it's kind of getting dry and bland right now, and not a lot of people are getting into it. When you're having a Russian chain match, it's basically the same as a rope Texas bull rope match, but it's with a freaking chain. I don't know what makes it Russian. It looks like a pretty normal chain to me. I mean, fuck, like Rusev, all he did was did the Accolade with the chain on John Cena, if you've seen on Raw, which, whatever. I mean, it's building up into a semi-ending good end feud, but yeah, the open challenge actually does look good. I love how WWE is putting more prestige into this U.S. title. But it needs to stop putting out jobbers against John Cena. Literally. I mean, are they just throwing jobbers at John Cena to and wait for a reasonable feud to show up? Maybe they're just unsure. Maybe they're just throwing all these jobbers until they figure it out. Just throw them Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, all these guys so he can job. Corporate Kane, that was fucking horrible. I mean, they put on I can't even say it's a semi-good match. It was a semi-normal match. But I don't know. I mean, you got to figure it out soon, because the open challenges is just going to get very dry if you're not going to have anyone good come out or anyone surprising to face them and actually put on a good match for the U.S. title. I mean, if you're going to put more prestige in the U.S. title, stop having all these jobbers facing John Cena for the U.S. title. I mean, you had before he got RKO'd onto a table, you had Heath Slater saying he was going to go out there and answer John Cena's challenge. Come on, no one wants to see John Cena against Heath Slater for the U.S. title. That's just boring as shit. But I don't know. I mean, how long does even John Cena hang on to this U.S. title for? How long does this U.S. Open go on for? I mean, they don't want, if they're not gonna make it more anticipating, then I don't think it's gonna last long. But if they do find the right challengers / challenger, then I think the U.S. Open Challenge should stay, and it just keeps on giving the U.S. title more prestige. I wish they do something a little more with the IC title, but it sucks right now because Daniel Bryan's neck is pretty bad. It's pretty banged up. The IC title match at Extreme Rules is still unsure. It's up in the air right now. I don't even think there's a stipulation on it because they don't know what the hell is going to happen. So we'll see about that. I mean, speaking of Extreme Rules, let's just jump into it. I think I'm going to get this card perfect. I think the only match I'm unsure of is Noemi and Nikki Bella's Divas title match. I picked Noemi to win because I think she'd make a pretty sick heel Divas champion. But I mean, isn't Nikki Bella heel right now? What's going on with that? Why is Nikki Bella all of a sudden turning face because Paige is going to film a movie? I mean, Paige is not going to be gone long. She's going to be back anytime soon. So what the hell are you going to do when she comes back? I don't know. But my Extreme Rules predictions, I guess, if I can just throw it into this video, throw it into this podcast. Let's see. Let's go down. Seth Rollins retains. John Cena retains. If Daniel Bryan does have his match, Daniel Bryan retains. I see Roman Reigns beating Big Show. I I can't see Big Show burying Roman Reigns. I can't see it. Roman Reigns has been getting buried for the last couple months, so he needs a win to boost himself back up. So I see that happening. I see Dean Ambrose beating Luke Harper in a Chicago street fight they're having, which is kind of funny because that's usually CM Punk's match when he ever comes back to Chicago. I see Ambrose winning that match. What else is there? I see Swiss Beats beating New Day. I really hope New Day does not win the tag team titles. I won't be a happy camper if they win. I mean, I fucking hate New Day. If you listen to my other podcasts, I think they're horrendous. I mean, I did have a lot of hype for them when they did come in. That was just me living in the hype, but I absolutely hate them right now. They got to come back as a heel tag team, please. They should have just started with a Nation of Domination gimmick in the beginning, but whatever. I think that's every match in the card. If I'm missing one, I apologize. Other than that, that's my Extreme Rules prediction, guys. I wish they threw like an NXT match in there or something. Speaking of NXT, holy crap, I don't know if you guys have been watching lately. NXT has been crazy. Man, this NXT just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and better. Way better than watching like SmackDown. Which, I mean, who the hell watches SmackDown? But NXT has been insane. I've been actually watching it live, guys. I've been watching replays. I've been actually getting myself tuned in and watching it live. That's how good it's become. And they just announced that NXT has tour dates. It's going to actually have live events, which is crazy. They're touring a little bit up in northeastern United States, which is pretty cool. I wish they'd come to Canada, but the closest show will be Albany. I'm going to see if I can try to get there. I'm not sure. If I do, I'm going to do a reaction video or a review video, on it. So yeah, we'll see about that. I know it's going to Philadelphia, which is going to be a crazy ass crowd. I'm pretty sure it's going back to Columbus. They put on a pretty good crowd for the NXT show there. So yeah, big things for NXT. They just had a diva debut. I can't think of her name at the top of my head, but she looked okay. I mean, she's a little like slew-footed. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Sorry, guys, really, really late at night here. But she got a pretty interesting finisher, pretty clean Falcon Arrow. Hopefully she gets better in the ring though, so she cleans up her act a little bit. But NXT looks insane. I mean, they had NXT superstars debut on the main roster like Adrian Neville and Lucha Dragons and all that, and the crowd's just chanting NXT like it's another ECW. It's becoming that much it's just gaining that much popularity. So good for NXT, guys. If you're not tuning in every week, I suggest you do. They put on a really good brand and a really good show. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Twitter. Hit that like button. Everything helps. If you don't do it, I really don't give a shit. But I am your host, Kyle Masters, as always. This has been another episode of No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, the wrestling podcast where we talk about anything that's going on in WWE and no holds barred on what we say. And that's it.